Insta360 Go 3 camera. Everybody is talking about this camera and how awesome it is, but here I'm going to tell you my negative point that I find out about this camera that will help you to decide if it's the right one for you or not. Alright, let's go! The first major negative point of this camera that I find out very quickly, it's the fact that anytime you want to pull it from somewhere, like from the action pod or even the camera, you want to pull out the camera from its case, what you have to do, you cannot grab it from the side, it's quite impossible. So you always have to grab it by the lens. So you always have to kind of grab the lens and pull the camera out of the action pod like so. Here we go. And then you can grab the camera by the body. But all the time, it's the lens that will take this extra stress, and then it may damage, after a while, it may damage maybe the lens itself. It may apply some forces around the lens, and maybe sooner or later, the lens is going to pull out. I don't know. But I don't like this fact that all the time, when you need the camera, you cannot grab the body itself. You always have to pull like so from the lens itself. So that's one of the major negative points of this camera that I wanted to show you. Next negative, it's that the fact that the pod will lose connection. That means the screen that will show you the live feed from the camera will lose connection very quickly. That means if you go a little bit further away, like that even, and then the screen is already losing connection. So that's not very good. It will help you, of course, when you are like nearby and then you can set up your camera and then you are good to go. You can forget about the screen and then you record from the camera what you need. But if you need your camera further away from your screen, it's not going to work very well. So you have to keep that in mind. And of course, this camera, they advertise it as automatic horizon level up, but actually this mode works only in full frame video. It does not work in normal video mode. That means if you record anything in normal video mode and then you wear your camera like so, or any other orientation that your camera is normally horizontal, then you are going to have an upside down video or sideways video. Which means you have to remember all the time that if you want to have this horizon leveling, automatic leveling applied to your video, you will have to set up your action pod to record in this full frame video. Keep that in mind, otherwise you are going to have a weird looking video that you will need another program, another editing program to rearrange correctly at the end in case if that happened and your setting were on the normal video mode. The little trick that I find that works perfectly, for me at least, it's to put a black dot on the top of the camera. I don't know if you can see here, a black dot. So this dot will indicate the top of the camera. So I know all the time I see this dot on the top, I know my camera is horizontal that way. So if you grab your camera like so, for instance, and you don't know where is the up or down, with this little black dots, quickly I know now that I'm holding the camera in the correct orientation. So this little trick may help you. Another little annoying thing that I find about this camera, maybe it's not a big deal for you, but for me it is because I do have big hand and big finger. So when I try to remove the camera from the action pod, I tend to press this button when I hold the camera like so. Of course, I want to unlock the camera with this button, but those fingers tend to press the power or the quick setting button in the same time. So it's difficult for me to hold the action pod away from this button when I want to remove the camera from it. So like show you, it's like often up, I remove the camera and now the action pod is on because I, of course, press the off on button and then the camera probably start recording already. With my big hands, it's not always easy to remove this camera from the action pod without pressing randomly those buttons. So something you will have to keep in mind as well if you do have big hand like me. And of course, the major negative point of this camera that some people actually don't like, including myself, but well, I don't have that much choice. That's why I've chosen the 64 gig version of the camera. It's because it's only have an internal memory. You cannot use any micro SD card with the camera, with the action pod or the camera itself. There is no any slot to install a micro SD card. So you have to right away when you purchase your camera, you have to decide which version you want between the 32, 64 and 128 gigabyte version. Again, mine is the 64 gigabyte version, which is the average and give me enough space to record what I need. Of course, once the internal memory is full, you will have to transfer everything on your computer before to continue recording with the camera. If you are out in an expedition and you forgot to bring your laptop, you are going to be in big trouble once the camera is full. So don't forget to bring your laptop or also your cell phone or tablet. You can transfer via the app all the data, all the video from the camera through the Action Pod to your phone or tablet or of course laptop. And about transfer, the transfer rate, it's quite slow. I connected this camera to my USB 3 port on my computer, on my desktop computer, and as you can see here, the transfer rate was quite slow. I was not impressed by the speed to transfer my video file from the Action Pod to the computer. So give you another idea of the other negative point right there about the transfer speed. Not only they give you an inboard memory that you cannot extend, but also the transfer rate is quite slow. So be sure to have plenty of time once you want to remove your file from the camera and put them on your other device, computer, phone or tablet. And another negative point actually that I find about the hard way, it's the slow motion. Slow motion is advertised as awesome, and it is actually awesome and very smooth. But the problem is, when you want to do it, when you want to record in slow motion, the camera will tell you that you have to hold the GoPro camera 90 degrees before shooting. That could be annoying because you want to hold your camera like so, or you want to hold even the camera itself horizontal. There is no automatic horizon leveling available in slow motion mode, so keep that also in mind. And they want you to hold the camera or the camera and the Action Pod this way, 90 degrees. You hold it that way when you do your slow motion. So remember, you hold your camera 90 degrees and that's it. There is no horizon leveling. That's it. How you hold the camera is how your slow motion is going to be recorded. And another negative point, which is in my opinion the main one, it's the battery of the camera itself, of this GoPro separated from the Action Pod. The battery capacity only give me about 25 minutes of recording time. As you can see, I still have 39 minutes of space, of recording space on my 64 giga version here. And I was using the GoPro to record my e-scooter ride as a dash cam kind of system, which is important when you ride a bike or e-scooter, and of course your car, to have a camera, so in case if something happened, you do have a proof of what happened. So I was using this camera only on my helmet, and it started to record and it stopped at around 25 minutes. Matter of fact, I still have the video here. I can show you. Here we go, that's the one. And yeah, it was 25 minutes, 39 seconds. And it stopped recording out of battery. The video recording was set on free-frame video, which is the best, in my opinion, video system to record everything. In case if something happened, you have the liberty to readjust your framing to see something maybe that was missed under the normal video mode. So that's why I selected the free-frame video mode. And in free-frame video mode, the camera only gave me 25 minutes of recording before the battery died on me. I used to use my GoPro Hero 9 instead of the GoPro camera before as my security slash dashcam camera, and the battery lasted at least an hour when I was doing my e-scooter rides, and I thought that I will just replace it by the GoPro since it's very easier, the camera is lighter, it's less obvious that I have a camera on my helmet. But according to the performance I just saw with the GoPro, 25 minutes, it's not acceptable. My ride are around an hour, and will be nice if the camera at least gets to the 45 minute advertised battery time. And we are going to finish the negative issue with the Insta360 GoPro camera by talking about those issues with the sound synchronization. Some user already on YouTube reported the fact that some of the video, not all of them, in some recording, the audio was not synchronized with the video. So basically when you talk, your sound is slightly out of sync, like, hello, it's me, how are you doing? A bit like that. Here is an example of what's going on when it actually happened from this YouTuber.
Something strange happened with the microphone on the second day when I was testing the Go 3. The audio and the video were not correctly synchronized. So at this point, I can't say that this happens all the time, and I can't say that this will happen to you. But Insta360 needs to find the cause and fix this before it happens to more people. Alright guys, so this is a microphone test on the Insta360 Go 3 and I want to test the wind reduction because it's kind of windy right now in here.
As you see, it could happen. It didn't happen yet to me. I hope it will not happen, and I hope maybe they fix it with a firmware update. But in case if they haven't, it's something for you guys to keep in mind before to purchase this camera. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that all those little points, all those negative points about the Insta360 Go 3 help you to decide if it's the right camera for you or not. And also, if you don't like this red blinking light when you record your video to be shown, because this camera functionality is to be as discreet as possible, you can, in the setting, in the action pod setting, there is a way to remove this blinking red lights. That way your camera could be completely stealth, completely invisible, and it will be no obvious for people that you are recording around. So it could be another great functionality actually of this camera that is a little bit hidden and that not too much people know about. Here you go. Hope this little video about the negative point of the Insta360 and the little trick about the light helped you to decide if this camera is right for you or not. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Bye bye. To avoid this issue myself, I find the little trick that I find that works perfectly, for me at least. Like so, you are going to have your sound muted. Where's the card? And of course, the major negative point of this camera. And about transfer, the transfer rate, it's quite slow. I connected this camera to my USB. Je peux plus parler aujourd'hui. I connected this camera to my USB 3 port on my computer, my desktop computer. Woo! Anyway.